Yeah, Cash Gang.
Hey, what's happening? What you know good? I am Darius Cache, and this is the Bernard Song Podcast, where pain has a voice and healing finds rhythm. Before we get started, I want to send my apologies to our previous guest, Miss Tanisha Dorr. We had an issue with our lighting source, and Tanisha is very beautiful, and I wanted y'all to get her best side, and y'all will see that she is a dime. Okay, so today we talking about love, sex, and relationships. So before we came on, Christian was giving me a little background about a situationship. But let me ask you this, Christian, you ever been in love?
I absolutely have. I've been in love a couple of times, actually. And I've never been in a relationship either, so I'm still working on myself.
Okay. That's fair. So it's I had a wild, whatever. I had a good evening last night. It was cool. It was the third date with a girl that I've been seeing for a little over a week now. And we had a very serious conversation. We have serious conversations. And, you know, I just want to make sure that I'm treating her with the utmost respect that she deserves, and that we understand each other's boundaries and also what each other is looking for. Now, goodness gracious. There's also a striking difference between her and the other woman that I happen to be interested in. So a few of the differences. The girl I'm seeing now, she doesn't have any kids. The woman that I'm interested in, and I'm sorry, that's not to say that I'm not interested in the one that I'm seeing, because why would I be seeing her if I wasn't interested? The one that I'm really one that I'm interested in, she has 3 kids. The one that I'm seeing, she doesn't have a business to speak of yet, but the one I like, she has a few different businesses. One of them does not garden, one of them does. One of them, and you can see where I'm going with this. It's a problem. But I've had great conversations with both of them. And like I said, I don't want to be disrespectful to either one of them. And so yeah. It's really a touchy situation, because I got out of a bad relationship 2.5 years ago. And I don't talk about it much, but I've been abstinent for 2.5 years. It's a difference between celibacy and abstinence, but I'll let you do your own Google homework on the difference. I've been abstinent for 2.5 years since my last relationship, which was a little over 2.5 years ago. And it ended badly. And I told myself that I wouldn't be put back in a particular position. And I had been staying over with my ex, and she had a thing where she wanted me to stay in the bed while she goes to work. I wasn't feeling that. Not that type of dude. Not just gonna be in your bed like I ain't got nothing else to do. So we had a big blowing up, a big falling out. Then I really realized at that point how close we actually were not. Because she had the audacity. So we actually broke up after that, because it was just an episode that was almost like it was no coming back from. But maybe I didn't see it that way. Maybe she probably did. We was on her turf. She had gotten off work, so I pulled up at the house, and she's in the car with a guy, and this guy was a dealer, a marijuana dealer, and she doesn't have on any pants. She only has on like a panties and bra set, and like just a little sequin or just some little. No, it wasn't a negligee, but it was like a satin pullover in the car. Like, so.
Was it like a crop top or something?
Nah, it was just like one of the things that women wear. It could have been. It wasn't a trench coat, but it could have been. It was just something to hide her bra and panties.
Oh, I see.
But underneath she had on just bra and panties. She didn't have on any pants.
Mm.
So, you know how the mind works. Just start conjuring up images. Maybe she was maybe she was, getting it in, like, so. So at that point I was just like, we just need to go our separate ways. And it was so crazy because dude got out the car, she went inside the house, I went in maybe behind her or behind dude or whatever, but me and her is in her room, and I actually like shook hands with the dude and I just bounced, because I'm really not with the drama. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I have a checkered past, and if we was playing the game of 3 strikes, I'd be on one of my if not my last. So I ain't really with all the riffraff, and we understand how bad situations can end, whether it be jealousy or just domestic issues, and I'm really not with that. I'm on the path in my life where it's just non-conducive. So when I pick a girl to rock with, I got to know that we gonna be solid and that she got my best interest at heart and I got her best interest at heart. So that's the relationships part of it. There was no love. And even though I had told her I loved her, it was more of a platonic, more of a generic love. It wasn't no, oh, I love you, I'd do anything for you, let's get married, meet me at the altar. It wasn't that kind of love. And I have to wonder sometimes, have I been in love as an adult? We have puppy love when we're going through school, but actual love is sort of sketchy, it's sort of testy. Yeah, love is something that the Bible tells us. It slick tell us that we're entitled to it, because you love your God with all your heart, strength, and mind, but you love your neighbor as you love yourself. That implies that we are entitled to love. We are entitled to love some type of way, just off the sheer fact that we are to love our neighbor as ourselves. And if you love yourself, that's the first part of it, to love yourself. Then you love your neighbor. All these things imply that you are entitled to love. You don't necessarily get to decide who loves you, but you are entitled to love. So yeah. In high school, and May actually started in middle school, I was in love with this girl, and we had our whole life planned. And anybody else do that? I know I'm not the only one that planned my life with a girl. Like, we started out, we was making some type of music. Christian, what's up?
No, I've just been I've been through the same thing. Like literally middle school, high school, even now in college.
Planning your life out with a girl.
Right.
The whole thing. Like, I'm talking about, so me and Shawty, we were like, we was, as for making music, like writing music, because we wasn't like behind any instruments or anything, but we would write music a little bit together, and then might start off, do some poetry, and then we'd be drawing sketches of, clothes and shoes, and like my hair is braided right now. We even planned that I would have braids, like, like, like other things. And it's funny because a lot of that actually has been lived. I've kept my end of it. Like, hey man, look, I'm that type of guy. Like, from doing shows, whether they was open mics or different performances, and rapping, and also, with my wardrobe, with my attire, I'm very conscious of what I'm wearing. I like to be fresh. I don't got to be like, what I'm saying, like polo down, you feel me? But I do like to be pretty spiffy on a daily. I've gotten into wearing a lot of athletic wear, but yeah. So yeah, we get in love at a young age, and we start to plan our life out before it actually pans out. And then we grow, we meet people, and we just we search for love. And blessed are you to find love, because there's one thing that is easy to confuse with love, and that is sex. Sex is so easy to confuse with love. Sex can be something wonderful, or it can be the worst thing that a person may do if not done with the right person. It is imperative that we don't be just out here smashing and dashing everything and there's just no barrier. We need if you're out there and you're out there, when you're in those streets, we gonna say streets. When you're in those streets, wrap it up, shout it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, real deal, wrap it up. Something just came out, and they were talking about the 10 highest places, not in the United States, but the 10 highest places in Georgia, with the highest HIV cases. Now hold up, let me rewind, because I don't want to just take out Georgia like that. I think it was in the United States, but a couple of them was like Gwinnett County made the list, and no, it was in Georgia, because they talked about Athens, they talked about Gwinnett County, and they talked about Atlanta. So, and they were talking about the number of HIV cases, and man, it is just these numbers are just mind blowing. It is very imperative that you know the person you sleeping with. Like, we think it's a game, but sex can be dangerous. Like the all the things that it brings, like these things are not interchangeable. Love, relationships, and sex, they are not interchangeable. So, but understand that one can lead to the other. And a lot of times we would like it to lead, like, if you're gonna have sex with somebody, there's a good chance you want to have sex with them because you wouldn't mind necessarily being in a relationship with them. And that's from the physical standpoint. When we meet people that we are interested in, the very first thing is a physical attraction. Before either one of you open your mouths for introduction for anything, it is a physical attraction. So this is the Bernard Song podcast, where pain has a voice and healing finds rhythm. And that's what we would like to speak on today, is just that you don't look for healing in your sex partner. When you in a relationship, look for love, because it's dangerous out here. It's dangerous. And with respect to the women that I'm dating, And I'm not just getting around, but I'm single. I'm a single man. And with respect to the women, I don't date a lot of women. 1 or 2 may pique my interest at a time. Even 3, maybe 4 may pique my interest at a time. And I will explore what there is to be gained, but in a respectful way. Because this path that I'm on does not have time for games. It doesn't have time for lies. It doesn't have time for manipulation. And I sure enough don't care to cheat. Because cheating is what brings about the jealousy. Because if you're cheating, that means that there's supposed to be some type of understanding between you and the person who ultimately feel like they're being cheated on. And that creates the possessiveness, the entitlement. When you dating somebody or when you dating somebody and y'all actually get in a relationship, then it becomes cheating. If y'all just dating, y'all just having fun, y'all going out to have some meals, then that's different. But then when y'all start to get a little serious, and then we have to be considerate of each other's feelings. Because as a man, if I'm at a restaurant with a girl that I actually like, and this is about our 3rd date, it better not be now nigga that walk through the door that she get up and hug. Because that's ultimately disrespectful. If you've been talking to this woman about your interests, your likes and your dislikes, and y'all been talking about maybe possibly getting a little more serious in the future, she better not put her hands around nobody. And likewise, I would not do the same. But each relationship is not the same. Like, and there's a level to the hugs. There's certain types of hugs. Hugs are a physical thing. There's that type of touch. You never know what somebody might read into that. So be careful when you're dealing with love, sex, and relationships. The game of hearts can get very murky. It can be very tragic when emotions are involved, when people feel like they are entitled to a person's time. And Christian, you mentioned that you and the girl, y'all sort of fell off because of the communication, because you would call her and she would just feel like, or you would feel like you were bothering her.
Right, yeah.
Nobody wants to feel like that. If I call you and you pick up, if you don't like me that much, if you don't like me, or if I'm bothering you, and if you don't have the gumption to tell me, block my number. Like, or don't answer the phone. And the very sweetest thing that you can do is be like, hey, I had a great time with you, but I'm no longer interested in seeing what this relationship has in store for us. You say just that little bit. Or even if you want to take it a further, you say, hey, I'm on a different path. And if you really want to hurt somebody, you say, hey, I met somebody new and I really want to explore a relationship with that person. Wow. These things are not hard. It is not that complicated. It is not that, like, they be like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. I don't know about all that, but what I do know is you don't string nobody along. Don't play with nobody. Like that is the worst. And eventually it's gonna come back around. Eventually you're gonna meet your match. Because one thing about it, money is an infinite resource. And money, position, status is a lot of the thing, is a major thing that people look for in their spouse. So that being the case, there's always somebody who's making a little more than you, and there's a good chance that you could run across that person. And when that person, if and when that person finds interest in you, they can string you along just long enough to get you in the sack. Y'all might roll around a little bit, and then that person loses interest. You may still be interested, and that person will just act like you don't even exist to them, act like you are the scum of the earth. So yeah, it's gonna come back around, and it's kind of funny to me that women feel like each sex feels like the opposite sex has the upper hand sometimes. Like women have that place between their legs that we love to get to, but then again, women be like, "Oh, if he really wanted me, he would say something." I believe in a woman's right to choose. If we're walking along and you see me, I see you, we've seen each other at a distance, but as we get closer to each other, if I look you in your eye and you find a way to divert your eyes away from me or mine, I'm not chasing you. What I look like? No, because no. Because the same type of energy that it's going to take for me to get you is the same type of energy that it's going to have to take for me to keep you. So if I'm chasing you, and that's what they say too, if you chasing something, what that mean? It's running away from you. If you're chasing something, anything, it is running away from you. So bow, I'm not chasing nothing. Ain't no way I'm finna fight to be in a bad position, in a bad situation. Ain't no way. Because people send you signs, and we would be a fool to miss them. People show us who they are every day, all the time. And we would just be fools to act like we don't see what our eyes are clearly showing us. Before you even get into matters of the heart, you know the signs that people are giving you. It is a constant vibe check. It is always a vibe check. When a person starts to get cold, when a person starts to get distant, when those texts get few and far between, fall back a little bit. Just fall back a little bit and see where it goes. Let time deal with it. Don't try to force the issue. Don't force nothing with nobody, because you don't have to. And if they liked you like that, they wouldn't make you. The person that you into it with, the person that you love, the person that you have, that you begin to build a relationship with and ultimately have sex with, is a person that is proactive in your relationship. They don't wait for you to call. They don't wait for you to suggest places to have dinner or places you could go together. They engage. You don't always have to be the person to come out the pocket. That's one of the major tests. If a woman is really feeling you, she'll open up her purse. You might say, "Babe, I got it," but man, player, look, don't do that. If she wanna pay, let her, because otherwise it's going to get to a point where you may be controlling the situation, and she might just be riding with you just because you footing the bill. And that one time you turn and say, "Babe, I ain't got it," which as a man, hey man, you supposed to be managing enough to where you shouldn't have to say, "I ain't got it." Then that one time that you say that to her, bam, everything all falls down. So be careful. We just talked about love, relationships, and sex. Be careful. It is tough out here in these streets. We're going to say it like that. It is hard out here. It is hard out here in these streets. You feel me? But just treat each other right. Treat people how you want to be treated. I'm Darius Cache, and this is the Bernard Song Podcast, where pain has a voice and healing finds rhythm. Holla.
Yeah, Cache gang.